Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Omar from the Bullish Bears team. I wanted to do a webinar on like how like actually building my watch list for tomorrow and the rationale for my watch list and those types of things. Right now I'm currently in ThinkorSwim, and what you're gonna see here all to the left is my nightly scan. Okay, because you can actually build out your actual scans and like have them plunked in here to the left hand side. And what I'm looking at is my nightly scan with my biggest movers. So if you watch some of my previous videos, and if you haven't seen them, my advice is to go to YouTube, go to bullishbears.com, and you can see. Let me just pull it up. Just to show you guys real quick. Let's go to YouTube, and if you go to type Bullish Bears, you should be able to see it. Here it is, the stock market community. I have a whole ton of videos, and what you're gonna see is some of my videos on here, as well as Lucian's videos and Daniel Adams videos and Tim Davis's videos, which are phenomenal. But my videos, I have a couple here. So if you click on my link here, Omar's Momentum Trading, this is the general momentum trading video that I put together, like how I built, more or less like defining what's momentum trading and the patterns and all those types of things. But I also have a couple of other videos. So my ThinkorSwim custom scan setup, watch this, how to create a watch list in ThinkorSwim. All right, momentum trading strategies for beginners, and what is short selling and shorting a stock. These are really good videos, and you should watch these in order to get a sense of like how I build my scans. All right, so what just to show you the criteria really quickly, if I go to the scan tab, you're gonna notice that this is my nightly scan. I look for my criteria between 20 cents and $30. Now you can make this whatever you want. Maybe you don't care to trade stocks that are under $1. You want to trade stocks that are $10, between 10 and $50, or 20 and $100. It's whatever your preference is. The minimum volume requirement is 500,000 shares, or anything. There's no max. Anything above 500,000, and the stock change is 5%. And there's no max there. So these are, when I ran my scan, these are the 45 stocks that were part of this criteria, that filled this criteria. And now what I want to do is, based on the scan, I want to look for stocks that I want to keep an eye on, put on my watch list for tomorrow, right? So to start that process, all I do is, let's go back to charts. All I need to do is just click this button here, and I go to create watch list, and I'm going to name this. I'm going to say Omar watch list for 1/30/2017. All right. Okay. And I'll hit save. Okay. So there's my watch list, and now what I want to start doing is looking at my charts. Okay. This is this actual scan that I have here. Okay. I have it plugged here all the way to the left. Okay. And all I want to do now is just start looking at charts, and all I focus on, guys, are charts that are holding their highs. All right, stocks that go into the close holding their highs. Now, Plum is the number one stock right now, the number one play. This stock is up 51%. It was traded 26 million shares. That's the volume, which is pretty incredible. And when it closed Friday, this gray signifies the after hours. This closed at 346, and it gapped up all the way to 390. It's currently right now at 368, which is incredible. This is so overextended that this is going to be a phenomenal short opportunity. And what you want to do is, when you're looking at a stock, you kind of want to see the history. Okay, this is where kind of ThinkorSwim kind of struggles. And if you want to get more information about the stock's history, you go to Yahoo Finance. So I go to Yahoo Finance. This is Yahoo Finance, and I just type the actual stock, Plum. There it is. Okay, and when you do, this is going to get the history. So the previous close price, this is on Thursday, it closed at 222, it opened at 230, and it ripped, it went crazy. It's now at 360. Okay, but what you really want to focus on when you're looking at this is, look at the average volume. It usually trades 1,425,000 shares. Look where it's at currently, 25 million. So this is a stock that's going to be volatile. Okay, And what you want to do is, you want to see it open up and get a sense of whether or not it's going to go up or down. What I like to do is look for stocks that are overextended and look to short them. Another thing that you want to kind of look at that would be relevant for you is if you go to where is it? Finance Home. I think it's not personal finance. Oh, I'm sorry. You go to statistics, and in statistics, okay, so you'll see the 52-week high, the 52-week low. Okay, the 52-week high is 389. It actually broke that for a second, and the after hours hit 390. Okay, 52-week low is 50 cents, which is incredible. All right, it's above the 50-day and 200-day moving average. But what I really wanted to show you guys is this is what you want to see. Okay, so how many shares are available? So this stock has a float of 5 million, okay, 55,000 shares. All right, so this is a low float stock. So that means that this stock can run. Okay, and look at down here, percentage of shares to float. 25% of this stock, okay, 20,039 shares are shorted right now. All right. So there's a lot of opportunity to get in and get shares to short, okay? So what I do is when I go, and I'm going to go back to my chart, what I do is I look at the stock history, and so this is a setup where I have a 1 minute, a 3 minute, and a 5 minute chart, just so when I make a trade, I can kind of get a sense of the time differences. So the 1 minute is the one I focus on the most because of the volatility. But the 3 minute and the 5 minute give you a really clear picture of the direction of the stock and where it's going to go. Okay, and what I try to look for, I'm very short biased, so all I do is I really kind of look for stocks that are overextended, and then I short them back down, because if a stock has 3 or 4 green days, eventually it's going to give those gains back, and you just short into it, and that's where you make your money. Okay, so if I look at the history here, I click on this button here and I go to the 1 year history. So 1 year ago, this stock hit a high of 389, and you see it kind of gap down all year. And if I just zoom in here, these are the last few days. So this is on the 13th. This is where it kind of started its run. It opened at 70 cents and it closed at 155. And look what it did the next day. The next day it opened at 121 and hit a low of 98 cents. So that would have been an amazing short. It closed at 101. So you see it had this big green day. It followed up by this red day. Then it had another red day, didn't really do shit here. And then it had another green day where it opened at 97 cents, it hit a high of 131, and then it closed at 115. And then here it kind of had some sideways action, but the last 4 days, look what it's done. It closed at 111 and this is the 24th. On the 25th, it closed at 164. On the 26th, it closed at 222. And currently right now, it closed at 337, but really it's really currently at 363. Oh yeah, it's 337 right now. I'm sorry, my apologies. At 337. So what do you think is gonna happen? It's had 3 green days, right? People who bought here, here, and here are gonna take their profit. This is a dog shit company. All these companies suck ass. So what you do is you look to short, okay? And if the close price is 337, remember when I talked, if you haven't watched my videos, you get to watch them, but you should watch them. But I talk about a play called green to red, meaning that means when a stock dips below the previous day's close price, that's like a sign for a lot of sellers to short the stock. And what that means is, so if I go here and I'm looking, this is where it currently is at, right? It's what did it say? 337. Where is it? High, low, close. Oh, I don't know why it said it was 337 if it's right here. It's actually a 337. That's what. So after hours it dropped down, and I'm not sure why it's saying that, because it's saying here that it's 352, but the close price was 337, I guess. So what you do is you can put a line. So I add a drawing and I put a price level. And I put it at 337. And what that does, 337. There you go. And if the stock dips below that, that's like my entry to short the stock. Okay? All right, that's one example. okay? And you see it also shows up on my 3-minute and 5-minute. I kind of set it so that it happens that way, all right? But and that's just something that I really want to talk. I didn't want to get into too much detail about shorting. Watch my shorting videos, and there's a lot more detail I go into about shorting. But I just wanted to talk about that. Let's just focus on building the watch list. So because this stock closed holding its highs, it's absolutely going to be on my watch list. So I type plum, and now it's on my watch list. All right. And so let's look at the next chart. Click GSAT. GSAT. Look what it did. It closed up. It opened at 148. It closed at 167 right now currently, right? This is a stock that's holding its highs into the, and it actually traded a little bit after 4 p.m. on Friday. So absolutely, this is a stock that I'm going to watch because it's volatile, all right? And again, if you want your confirmation, look how many shares it traded for, 18 million. If you want confirmation, again, you go to Yahoo Finance, you type GSAT, all right? And then you kind of get a sense. You look at the, you go to, oops, here we go. You go to the summary, all right? On the summary, you see, okay, 52 week high and low. This is the range. Look at how many shares it traded Friday. Look at the average volume. It's way above it, right? This is going to be a good short too eventually, all right? And then what you got to do is you kind of like, if you want to get really specific, you kind of want to see, what you would do is you look at like the 5-day range and kind of see where support and resistance is. So right here, this is resistance, right? 167, and you can put like a trend line there to get a sense of the direction. And support seems to be right here currently. Oops, tends to be right here. I'm sorry, I'm having a problem with this. Yeah, and support is right here about 160, okay, and that's support and resistance. So if it breaks this trend line, resistance, then that's a buy sign. If it dips below this, that's a short sign, okay? You know, and that's kind of where you get a sense of where support and resistance is, and you can kind of figure out your thesis based on that, you know. But generally what I suggest is wait until the market opens to kind of see where the stock is going. If you're looking at this the way it closed, it seems the MACD is already rolling over, and it looks like it's gonna sell off a bit, but you know, you don't really know until the market opens, or you know, to know exactly what direction the price of a stock is gonna go in. But with that said, moving on. So the next stock, SGYP. This is a stock that, if you look over the last 5 days, this was at 535, and it hit a high of 651. It closed at 626. I'll just go back to the 1-day, 1-minute chart. And, you know, this is a volatile stock. I mean, it's pretty overextended. I mean, I probably would keep an eye on it just because this stock has a habit of moving a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if when the market opened, it rips, because it has a tendency to do that. If you want to get a sense, you kind of look at the 5-day history and say, okay, what happens at 9:30? So on this day, on the 24th, it kind of sold off. You know, it kind of sold off, right? Now let me just go back. And then you can say, okay, what did it do the following day? It sold off, okay? So it has 2 days consecutively where it sold off. What did it do day 3? On the 3rd day, oh, it ripped. And then it sold off, and then it bounced. This is a great dip buy. When a stock gaps, sells off quickly, and then it gaps right back up. So the 3rd day last week, it dipped by. So you can kind of get a sense of what the stock is doing. And then on Friday, this stock kind of ripped up, all right, at the market open. So 2 out of the 5 days last week, it opened up and ripped at the open. So we'll see what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if this sells off when the market opens. This may be a great short opportunity. You know, what I would do is I would look at support and resistance. So if I'm looking at this, right, this is support, okay, right here, this is resistance, and I'm looking at it. If it breaks below this, I'm going to short it. If it breaks above this, I may long it. You know, it just depends, all right? And that's kind of how you get a sense of what the stock is doing, all right? So let's keep moving on. So next stock on the list is STM. STM, look at this, beautiful. It's been gapping up. This stock was at 11.89 5 days ago. It's at 13.70 currently. All right, and it definitely closed holding its highs. This is going to be on my watch list. All right, STM. And if again, if you want to get more information about the stock, again, you can go to Yahoo Finance. You can just type in STM. All right, you can see that this stock's average volume is 3 million shares, but it's trading at 9 million shares. All right, and look at the range between 5 and 13 bucks. Right now, all right, this stock is trading at 13.70. So what do you think is going to happen? That this is probably going to sell off tomorrow. All right, and people are going to short it. And you can get a sense again. So if you go to statistics, you want to see the percentage of people that are shorting it. So this stock has a lot of shares, right? 625 million shares. Okay, if you want to see how many shares shares is short, 5 million shares are available to short right now. All right, so it's not a ton, okay, but it's enough to get in. All right, and nobody's shorting this currently. According to this, 0% of shares afloat, short ratio 2.2. Yeah, there's nothing right there. So tomorrow, I bet you, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if I was a betting man, I would guess that this tomorrow is going to open up and it's going to sell off, and it's going to be a great shorting opportunity. And look where VWAP is above VWAP. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes from 1370, bounces to 1337, and then maybe has a quick bounce back up. All right, but who knows? I mean, nobody really knows. If anybody tells you anything otherwise, they're full of shit. All right. So let's keep looking on. So I click on XTBM. This is a chart. Ew, nasty. I don't like the way, even though it kind of like holds its highs. I don't like the way the chart looks. I mean, this is maybe a possible swing trade, but I don't like it. I'm gonna move on. EXES. All right. This is kind of, look at this. This thing sold off all the way down to $1. Wow, this would have been an amazing short, and it kind of started bouncing up. These are like good dip buys. Whenever, this is a good thing for you guys to keep an eye out of. When a stock sells off like this in the market, eventually it's gonna find its support level, and usually you get a nice little bounce up on the upside. A lot of stock traders look for stocks just like this to just buy the little bounces. All right, but I don't really like it. Even though it's kind of forming this U shape, so it may gap up. All right, I mean, maybe you may want to keep an eye on it. I don't really care for it. I'll keep moving on. SGM. Oh, this is probably one of those companies where there was some sort of transaction and start dipped up. I don't like the way this looks. I'm just gonna move on. APH. This is a stock that I don't like the chart right now. Even though this has been pretty volatile over the last couple of days. I mean, you can look at to see the 5-day. Let's see the 5-day history. Yeah, so this stock was at 2. It went from 2 all the way to 350, back down to 280, back up to 362, and now it's back at 314. This might be a potential good short play tomorrow. APH. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. But this might be a good shorting opportunity. All right, so let me go back 1 minute and look at next PLX, sideways action. These are not stocks that you want to trade, right? There's no real volatility. There's no way to really make money when they're sideways like this. MCIG, nope. MTW, look at this. This stock went from 703 and it's at 757, and look, it's holding its highs. Resistance, it seems to have found resistance here. So, oops, let me go back. So resistance seems to be found here at about 743. So it's kind of holding its found resistance, and if you do a little trend line right above, you can see it's like trading in it's formed a channel. So this is great because it's either gonna break above or break below. And if you want to see what it's done, you can kind of look over the last 5 days. This thing was at $6, and slowly this thing has been ripping. Let's look at the yearly chart. If you look at the yearly chart, this stock was a year ago at 278. It's hit a high 757. Support seems to be at 631. Guess what I think is going to happen tomorrow? Even though if you look at the yearly chart, and we're looking at MACD, the RSI is hot. It is on the yearly chart looking like it's gonna spike a little more, and this is a very bullish sign. But guess what I think is gonna happen tomorrow? This thing's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days. Guess what? This is gonna happen. This is a stock that I'm gonna put on my watch list, because this is a stock that's probably going to sell off at the open, because all these people are gonna take their profit. These stocks can go whatever. And I wouldn't be surprised if this went and found its support somewhere at $6. So you have potential to make $1 on this trade. All right. And if you want to look to see what the stats are, the yearly stats for this stock, because it traded 9 million shares on Friday, let's go to Yahoo Finance. And we just type STM. All right, and when we type STM, what happened here? Let's do this again. STM. Ah, there we go. Search. Okay, here we go. What happened here? Finance. STM. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. STM. Wow. Let's go back. STM. Come on. Maybe my internet's slow or something. So, all right. So we look at the range, right? This is the 52, and we confirmed this, right? So it's between 511 and 1364, right? So it's already at its highs. The average trading volume is 3 million shares. It's trading currently at 9 million shares. So this is way above its volume, right? It's volatile. This is great. These are the kind of stocks that we want to look for. And if we're looking at this right now, all right, it's above the moving averages. It has 5 million shares available to short. And according to this, it doesn't seem like anybody's holding shares, according to this. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but that's what it says. But this looks like tomorrow, oops, sorry about that, guys. This looks like tomorrow I would be watching to short this. Okay, this is absolutely goes on the watch list. All right. And this is what I do, guys. This is what I do. I just look at these stocks and I go, keep going this. JNC, nah, don't like it. Sideways, it could kind of move, but CLS, wow, this thing was at 12 and it gapped up to 14 and it kind of fell to 14, 18. VWAP is 401. And you know, it's trading sideways. I mean, this thing is up about $2. I would expect this to give back some of its gains. We look at the yearly chart. Resistance is, support is here at 1259. I mean, I would be looking to see this stock kind of go back down to 1259. I mean, I like to see stocks that are absolutely holding their highs. I mean, you can put this on the watch list. I would probably put it there just to see if this has a nice short sell-off tomorrow. I mean, it could keep running. You never know with any stock, but I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if this gave back some of its gains because it's so overextended at this point, you know? If you look at it, it's had, you know, 1, 2, 3 green days. I wouldn't be surprised, but you never know, you know? And you can do look at the fundamentals and the chart and, you know, and the stock history and see what they're selling and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I'll keep it there. All right, so let's keep moving on. Let me go back 1 minute, 1 day. QCP, this is a kind of chart. This is a stock that gapped up and held its highs. QCP, so this will go on my watch list, all right? And it's that simple, guys. I mean, this is all I do. I just look for stocks that are holding its highs with the expectation that they're going to be volatile, all right? QCP, just to confirm, right? If we look at the actual chart history, QCP, all right? Look at it, look where it's at. So it's 52-week high, 1781. All right, 52 weeks low is 1557. Okay, it has the float of 83,059,000 shares. All right, it has 7 million shares available to short, and 8% of the people right now, 8% of the stock, is 8.9% of the stock people have shares shorting. All right, currently. All right, so if you see if the 52-week high is 1781 and it's at 1775, what do you think is going to happen, guys? That more than likely it's going to give back a lot of those gains. All right, so you can watch it at the open, you know, it may spike, you may get in for a nice quick scalp or whatever, but you know, you expect these stocks to sort of pull back. All right, TDOC, all right, that's the 1 minute, 1 day. This thing gapped up and then sold off right at the thing. Now, I'm not interested. BLRX, no way. Chart looks ugly. LTRX, I don't like the way it looks. TNX, it's kind of went into the close. It kind of went sideways and it kind of gapped up. I don't love it. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. OQ, IBR, OEQ. Any stocks with 5 letters, stay away from. They're all shitty dog shit companies. Try to stay away from these companies. Alright? Unless you're like real seasoned, and I would always short these, and you know, but stay away from them. GXV, look at this, it's kind of gapped up, opened at low was 251, hit a high 286, and then it kind of found its support here at 275, and it's been running sideways since. So if you can do your little This is forming like a triangle pattern. If you notice here, see a little wedge. So it's either going to break above or below this. Okay. And if we look at not a ton of volume, only 1.7 million shares, but enough that it's tradable, and it potentially you can put on your watch list. If we look at to see what it's done over the last 5 days, this is kind of overextended. Over the last 5 days, this thing was trading at 230, 234, and gold is pulling back. This could potentially be a short. If we look at the yearly chart, this is at the max at its height over a year. It's been at 320, but this thing has been trading as low as 64 cents. This would probably be a good short opportunity. Let's see what the normal volume is for this stock. GSV. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong stock. It is GSV. Oh, this is GSVC. No, GSV. Why is it giving me GSVC? That is not what I'm looking for. That's strange. I don't know why it's not coming up. GSV. I am not going crazy. I don't know, but you can kind of keep an eye on it. I think because of the actual pattern. Let me go back to the 1 day. Has this channel. You can kind of keep an eye, see if it breaks below it. If it breaks below it, you can short it, especially. And if it breaks below 227 below VWAP, this thing can. I think it could potentially go back and get back all its gains. But I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you can put it on yours. SPAR, ugly chart. VVW, HMNY. This stock has been the last few days. It's been like ripping, and it had a lot of volatility. It kind of sold off. It's back at 402. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but these are one of those low float runners that when it moves, it really moves. TDG, CLRB. CLRB is a stock that sometimes rips. An ugly chart. I'm gonna skip it. OTPX, 1.29 million shares. It opened at 450, closed at 474. Chart looks really ugly. And potentially be a good short, but I'm gonna skip it. TWI hit a high 1339, kind of sold off, and then it bounced back up. This is probably a stock that's probably gonna sell off tomorrow, but I'm gonna skip it. RIOM, nah, don't like it. ESSI, yeah, don't like it. ZIOP. Here's a chart that held its highs. I like these are the charts that I like to see. It's kind of ugly, but I'll put it on the watch list because it's holding its highs. It's probably overextended. Let's take a look at 5-day chart. Right, it's kind of been look at this, a lot of volatility. So it's going from 542 to 569 to 552 to 592. Then it kind of went all the way back down 547. Now ripping again. If you look at the 1-year chart, this is a stock that if it has a catalyst, it's at 578. The next resistance point is right here at 594. 593. If it breaks that, this can go above $6. Look at the MACD on the yearlies. It's kind of not sure what it wants to do. I don't know if it's gonna continue to gap up, but the stock has been as high as $9. We'll see. We'll keep it. Sometimes these are stocks that slowly keep grinding up, and if you want to confirm, you can kind of look to see. Put ZIOP. There you go. Oh man, my internet sucks today. Oh Lord, what the hell is going on? I don't know what's going on. Sorry about this, guys. So if we're looking at this, all right, so the average volume is 1.9 million, and it's below its average. So it's one of those stocks that may be a potentially good swing trade, but I'll leave it on there. But it's below its volume. It's not. I just put it on there because it held its highs for the day. LRN. Okay, wow, this thing ripped from 16 to $19. Man, and it's kind of consolidated. When you see charts like this, these are the ones that you like to watch because you just put your little trend lines here. You see, if you look at it, you see how it's gapping up. It's like in this channel, And if it breaks above it, then it's a good buy. If it breaks below this, then it's a great short. And look, it has no, I mean, you look at the potential to go back down. I mean, this is a good opportunity. It may be a great short opportunity. I mean, look at the stock. The stock was at $16. So, and if you look at it over the last, let's say the last year, okay, this is a stock. Damn, wow, it was at $8. So $8 all the way up to $19. So this is definitely a stock that you should watch. But for you options traders, maybe this is a great options trade for you guys. I mean, this thing is ripped. I expect this to give back some gains to sell off tomorrow at the open of the market, but we'll see. All right. So with that sense, so did I put that in? Let's type that ORN. All right. So we put that in, and let's keep moving. Let me just go to the one. Oops. 1 day, 1 minute. No, this is disgusting. No way. Nah, I don't like it. I don't like these crappy stocks. Nah. This is a stock kind of held the ties, but no volume. This is a kind of stock that you may look for, like for a potential swing trade. Not enough volume. I don't like it. ATSG, not a lot of volume, but this is a stock that kind of like held the ties too. And, you know, this is something that you may want to look for a potential swing trade. I mean, 5 days ago, this thing was at, you know, $14. So wow, it's ripped the last couple of days. I would put it here for potential short. You know, I would probably watch it for potential short. Let's look at ATSG. Let's leave. Yeah. All right. And you know, it may continue to rip up. You know, you may want to buy it. You know, it may continue upwards. But yeah, it's had a huge move. GVO is one of those stocks that move a lot too. Not a lot of volume. Yeah. TGH. Not a lot of volume, but wow, this went from 13 to 14, almost $1. Not a lot of volume though. Dude, this is one of those stocks that you can put on just to watch, just to say, hey, you know what, this doesn't have a lot of volume, but maybe this one continues to slowly grind up, and you know, this can be a potential swing trade. CDIO, nah. But this stock, when it has catalyst, yeah, this thing could rip. Keep an eye on that stock for future reference. That's nope. So those are all the stocks that came up on my watch list. So according to our scan right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stocks on our watch list. And if we filter this just to see, so the stocks range from, I'm trying to filter this out, so the cheapest stock on this watch list is $1 a share, $1.66, and this goes as high as $84. Yeah, this is crazy expensive. I wouldn't even look at this. Oh, this thing had no volume. Oh no, this thing is gone. This thing is gone. Let's get rid of it. We'll get rid of that one. So these are the stocks. Now I use my stocks to trade scanner, which may potentially give other stocks. I'll post that one as well. But this is sort of what I do, guys. This is, and you know, these are the stocks that I watch. Now, two things I want to show you. I also want to show you how you create triggers. So like people ask me, well, how do you get in a trade, and you know, like how do you set your stops? And so ThinkorSwim has this really cool feature where, for example, so let's say I like shorting, and you know, I like to have my stop 10 cents above my the price that I buy the stock for. So the way you set that up is you go to, you know, the price, whatever, you go here, you right click, you say, so let's say you want to do like a custom sell order, okay? So you do sell, custom sell, and I'm going to custom sell with stop limit. So when I do that, it'll automatically bring up the price. So right now, currently, it has the stock at well, you know what? Stop. Sorry guys, let me delete this. Let's do that again. So I'm gonna right click. Let's do sell. Let's do sell with stop. I don't want to do stop limit, just with stop. All right. So yeah, here it is. So according to this, right, the limit that I would buy. So if I'm shorting this, it's saying right now whatever price you right click on and you execute, that's the price that's gonna appear here. What I want this is to default to say whenever I buy a stock, whenever I short a stock, I want my stop to be 10 cents above whatever I execute this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this 170, right? So look, so it's 10 cents above this price, right? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click this button where it says Save Custom Order Template. And it's gonna say, first trigger, sell with a stop at 10 cents. And I'm gonna hit save, right? So I'm gonna hit delete because I don't actually want to place this order. So watch this, I'll just show you an example. So let's say I was gonna buy plum, right? And I go here, right? This is the price. Now watch this. This is what I really do. So I right click, I go to sell, I go to right here where I created my trigger, and when I select this, look what it does. That's the price that I had it where when I right click, that was the price that it was. So that's the price that pulls in on my short order. And then look what it is. My stop is 10 cents above it. Now watch. Let's say I'm watching it and I'm not sure what I want to get in. So let's say I want to get at 350. Look, as I move the price up or down, the stop out is automatically 10 cents. All right. And that's what I have for shorting. Now, let's say I wanted to create a trigger the opposite way for buying, right? So I'm just going to delete that. I can do the same thing. So I right click. I'm going to go buy custom with stop. Okay. So you see it has my my limit as 358. My stop limit at 258, right? No. So if I'm buying a stock at 358, I want it to be, let's say, 10 cents below it. So I want it to be 348. Maybe you like your stop to set your stop at, 5 cents, whatever you like. So I'm going to put 348. Okay. So this is the price that whatever I'm buying a stock for, and the stop out is going to be 10 cents below it. So I'm going to click this button right here, Save Custom Order Template. Right here it is, sell, right, 10 cent stop. So I hit save. I'm going to hit delete because I don't want to actually place this order. So let's say tomorrow the market opens and I'm looking at one of these stocks. So let's say SGYP is running, right? So wherever I right click on, that's where it's going to actually place my order. So I just scroll down really quickly to buy custom, and I go straight to where it says, right? This is the one that I created. I have two here. So buy with custom. When I click this, look what happens. Okay, so here's my buy price, and here's my stop. So it automatically, whatever you buy the stock at, it'll automatically stop you out 10 cents if the stock dips 10 cents below the price you sell it for. And obviously you can cancel this and modify this. So in real time I can change it, but look how cool that is. Every time I go up, look at how it's going. Look how it works. Very cool. You see, 10 cents by default. And that's how I do it. And that way you don't get careless. You have a stop that's automatically set so that you don't go crazy and lose all your money. All right. So that's how you create your triggers. That's how I create my watch list. Watch my other videos. I can go on for hours and hours talking about all this shit. These are my other scanners. If you watch my previous videos, I show you how to create these scans and all that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you guys on the Facebook page. All right. Have a good one.